Chapter 9. Sunday, August 28th, Aalliyah's birthday rolled around, and Nate had a lot planned to celebrate. He asked that she came over first thing in the morning so they get to spend as much time together as possible. When she arrived and entered, she stopped in her tracks. The entire home was decorated. Balloons hung in the doorway to the kitchen, and the rooms were lined with twisting streamers of her favorite colors. The only light was coming from the open windows, and the sunlight bounced off the glitter, making it sparkle. None of the decorations had been there last night when she left to go home for the evening, so she knew her friends either stayed up late working on it or got up early to put everything up. For about an hour they talked, but then Nate insisted there was a place he and Aalliyah had to go. Hand in hand, the two strolled through the streets of the town. Nate opened the door to the one building and held it for her. The two entered the nail salon, and Nate insisted she choose some fancy style to have painted. She thought about it for a long moment, but then lit up knowing exactly what to do. She whispered her idea into the worker's ear, so it'd be a surprise for Nate. Nate placed himself beside his girlfriend, and the lady shielded Aalliyah's hand as she worked so he couldn't catch a glimpse of what it would look like. Nate knew they were purposely making sure he couldn't see, so he decided to play the guessing game. Books, he guessed? No, Aalliyah chuckled. Although I can understand why you would think I would choose that. A Celtic symbol to represent the place you were born? She shook her head. A portrait of me? The nail artist laughed that time, knowing how difficult that would be to accomplish a design so complex. Maybe you are going for something simple, like stripes. Again, Aalliyah shook her head. The nail artist nodded to her, indicating they were finished. The answer is the night sky. Oh, wow, breathed Nate as he admired them. I can even make out a few actual constellations, and there's the Star of Love. Aalliyah nodded and chimed, the star that started it all for our story. There is nothing in the world that makes me happier than you, and I'm thankful our story has told in the stars and brought us together. It sure did. He leaned in and kissed her delicate lips. Once her nails dried, they returned to his house. There Jeramie was waiting with an eager smile, as if he had something up his sleeve. Sure enough, he did. He set a freshly baked cake on the table. It was beautifully decorated with icing flowers. Did you do this? Implored Aalliyah. Jeramie nodded. It's incredible. I had no idea you were such an artist. Nate added, Jeramie is very talented in many aspects, but he doesn't always let it show, as you can see. He used to help a close friend in his bakery in the summer. I thought for sure he only helped out because he had a crush on her. But nothing ever became of it, if he did. Jeramie defended, I didn't have a crush on her. Trust me, if I had, I would have made it known to her. I helped out because it was something to do when not studying herbs, and I enjoy baking. Besides, I like helping others, and the bakery is often understaffed. Plus, she isn't my type. How do you know what your type is if you never dated? Teased Nate. I have my expectations. I see. Well, let's not waste the entire day gabbing over it. We have a birthday to celebrate, he said, meeting Aalliyah's eyes. Nate nodded and set a few candles on the cake and carefully lit them. They sang to her and waited for her to make a wish, but she had all she could want. Then she thought of one. I wish the stars to continue guiding my path and show me what is written there for me. In a second, she blew all the candles out. Jeramie cut the vanilla cake and passed pieces out to his friends before taking a slice. The three of them sat at the table to eat it. They spent the afternoon playing various games, cherishing the time together. Nate stopped playing then to make dinner, which of course was going to be Aalliyah's favorite. Throughout dinner, Nate was really quiet compared to Aalliyah and Jeramie, who were talking and laughing. Jeramie paused laughing as he met Nate's eyes. He offered his best friend a warm smile, but Nate broke their contact to focus on the table. Jeramie knew what Nate was thinking about, but there was nothing he could do to ease his anxiousness this time. Several more minutes dragged out when Nate stood up and went onto the patio. He watched the light fade steadily from the sky, and one by one the stars come out. A bit later, Aalliyah and Jeramie joined him. Aalliyah observed him studying the stars and triple-checking his notes. Finally, he sighed heavily and went in the house to return in another instant. He sat down beside Aalliyah and stated, I've been looking to the sky for years for many things. Lately, I've been studying it to find out when the best time was. I thought it'd be great to give it to you on your birthday, but I had to see if the stars agreed. And? She sought, eager to know. Your star and my star are perfectly in line today, and right at this moment. What does that mean? It means it is the perfect time to give you this. He handed her a little box encased with a scarlet ribbon. The box reminded her of the shape of the necklace would come in, but she wondered why he would be so anxious if it was only a necklace. She undid the ribbon and then lifted the white lid. There was no piece of jewelry, but a golden key. Nate waited on the edge of his seat, eager for her to say something or show any indication of a reaction. But then he realized she might not have understood what he was trying to communicate with her. At once he revealed, "I would like you to move in with me if you are comfortable." She responded cautiously, "I am ready to take our relationship to that level," but she glanced at Jeramie. Nate interrupted, "I already discussed it with him, and he is all right with gaining a roommate. Besides, the two of you get along as best friends would. You can take as much time as you need to think it over. I don't need you to answer right now." The answer is yes. I mean, I practically have been living here anyway. I only seem to sleep at my house anymore. Plus, when I am there, it is so lonely and I miss being with you. It may only be a few hours, but it feels like forever. I could really benefit from the company all the time. When would you want me to move in? Whenever you like. Could start now. She beamed and kissed his cheek. Just then, Jeramie stood up and noted, "Have a good night, you two." Aalliyah puzzled questioned, "You're going to bed already? It's only 8 o'clock. "No, but I'm headed out." "Where are you going?" "Nowhere in particular. I might take a walk before settling down for the night." "Why?" "Nate has plans," he informed with a wink at his best friend. "Oh," said Aalliyah, finally understanding. She looked at Nate and smiled. He ran his hand through her hair and kissed her forehead. "As long as you're up for it tonight," Nate mentioned. "I sure am." "Good, because I think it'd be lovely to make it a birthday tradition for you. And of course, random days are always good, too. For now, though, I want to sit out here a bit more and watch the stars if you don't mind." "Not at all. I love gazing at them with you by my side." He grinned and kissed her. Jeramie spoke again as he prepared to head out of the house and vanish. "All right, you two, don't get in too out of control. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, Nate, and good night, Rumi." "Good night, Jeramie," called Aalliyah. He smiled and disappeared. Nate kissed Aalliyah's cheek and stated with a laugh, "Jeramie has nothing to fret about. I'm certain he was concerned we would be careless and have a child by morning. I had been meaning to ask you about that, actually. I know at this moment you aren't ready for children or that chapter of our story to start. Do you ever want children?" Aalliyah hesitated before answering to make sure her words would be what her heart felt. "You are right. I am only moving in now. I wouldn't want a child yet. Maybe eventually, but I really don't know. It's hard to say because right now I don't. But we might get to the point that we are ready for that. What about you?" "I definitely want a child. Not yet, though. I wouldn't want more than one either, I think. I'm on the same page with you there. What happens if you're ready for that chapter and I'm not? I will wait for you. I'll only truly be ready when you are. It is a decision both of us will make together. You are a librarian, so let me make a metaphor for you. We both had started writing our own book the day we were born, but little did we know it was the same book being written. We can't be in different chapters. We have to be on the same page, or else our story will never move forward. We will write each line and chapter together. What about when we finally are ready? What are we going to do?" "What do you mean?" "This place is small. There isn't a spare bedroom or a room, for that matter, that could be turned into a nursery or a child's room. If we left, Jeramie would be all alone. You mentioned you are always so worried about leaving him alone because it's how he's felt for most of his life." Nate kissed her for a long moment and said, "Don't worry about that now. Look, we don't know when we will be ready. Maybe when we are, he will finally have a girlfriend and the two may move in together. Then there would be a spare room, or he would be ready to live independently, and we could stay in the neighborhood. We could always build an extension to here and have an extra room. There are lots of options, but we will concern ourselves with that once we get there. For now, let's focus on the present moment and not think too hard about the future because it will come. The stars will lead us in the direction we are meant to follow, and when destiny determines it, all will work out."